So we are just heading back from a late brunch. It is 12 o'clock, almost 12 o'clock, and we're heading back to Lisa and Bill's house. We woke up around 8. Well, I woke up a little bit earlier to take a shower, but I got the kids around, and then we headed to my appointment. Lisa had her intralipids done downtown, so John took me to my appointment. Right now I'm on an everyday monitoring. They're drawing my blood and checking my insides and my follicles and all of that. It's weird. I don't know if the ultrasound tech who's standing in for the normal person got in trouble or not, but before, she refused to ever tell me the sizes of my follicles. Like, she wouldn't do it. I even asked numerous times, and she's like, I'm not allowed to because of this or that. And they make you fill out these complaint forms or these like survey forms, and I was completely honest in mine, and because she forced me to do it. Like, she found out I didn't do it the day before, and the next day I came in, she was like, you really need to do this, and I'm like, okay, fine. So I filled it out, and it said something like, how can we improve on your next visit? And I said, I would like to know my follicle sizes. You know, it's not like I'm gonna get freaked out or anything. I just want to know, because it's silly that I have to wait 3 hours to find out basically something that she could have told me. So today she told me all of my follicle sizes. Everything is measuring at 15 and above, which I kind of am confused because some people say that it needs to be 16 to 18 to retrieve, but the best is like in the 20s. But then some people say that like their doctor's triggered at 15 or up. Again, I'm not going to take anybody else's like experiences as my own because every doctor's different. But everything's measuring 15 and up. I still have 17 follicles, and then the 4 leading follicles. Remember, if you have been following me, I started off with 2, and then I bumped up to like 4, and then and then I bumped up to 11, and I had 4 all of a sudden that were like huge. Like, I grew an 11 millimeter follicle like in 2 days. So those 4 are now at like 23.4 or something like that, 23.5. And then everything else is like 15, 16, 17, and 18. I have a few 18s. So everything looks, I don't know. I want to say that everything looks good, but I don't know, and I won't know until the nurse calls me, because I can think one thing and then the nurse will say, well, we'd like you to be bigger. But I do have 4 that are measuring 23, so to me it's like, well, isn't that good? Like, maybe they should go in and retrieve those because that means they're really mature. But again, they need to match that, I think, with my estrogen levels, so that's what we're waiting on. So I'll probably get a phone call around 4 o'clock. That's been about the time that I've been getting them. And that phone call will either say, okay, stay on your drugs, or it'll say trigger shot tonight. You know, I'm gonna get home back to Lisa and Bill's house and try to pack a little bit, because I'm just hoping that we have a retrieval on Sunday. If we could have a morning Sunday retrieval, then there's a possibility that I could be able to go home with John and the kids on Monday, which would just be amazing. Not that I don't love Lisa and Bill, and not that they've been so hospitable and just so kind, but you know, I'm just ready to go home. I've been away from home for almost 2 weeks, and I'm a homebody, so you guys can only imagine like how I'm feeling right now. And I just want to be, I don't even, like, there's things about my house that I don't even remember. Like, it's like I think about it, I'm like, what does that look like again? And I'm ready to go home and work on my gardens, and I'm missing all my vegetables, you know, and my mom and dad got a pint of raspberries from our house, and I don't know, I'm just ready to be home and just settle back into our everyday. The kids are starting to get anxious to get home too, so I'm really hoping for them to call me and say I'm triggering tonight, but we will see. Really good news. The nurse called me while we were on the car ride home, and I will just read you, I'm just going to tell you everything she said, because I'm a little overwhelmed, because it was really good news. So my estrogen level is at 3,799. When I asked her if it was good, she again laughed and said, yes, you're an overachiever. That's amazing. The least that they like to see is like 2,000. The nurse that draws our blood every day told me that what they like to see is like 100 for every follicle you have. So like if I had 20 follicles, they want to see 2,000. Well, I have 22 follicles, and I'm measuring, and my estrogen's at 3,799. So that's beyond great. But it was really nice to hear the nurse call me an overachiever, because I just feel like up until this point, I've been told, you know, oh, you're lacking, or you're behind, or oh, you're not a very good candidate, or oh, you should have more follicles for how old you are. And it's just finally nice to hear somebody say, okay, you're doing well. So that's my estrogen. And then she gave me all of the totals and the sizes of all my follicles that have matured. So I will read those off to you real quick, just for those people who are wondering. So on my right side, which has, remember, that endometrioma, so I was guessing I wouldn't have as many follicles on that side to begin with, but I have a follicle that's 23, 20, 18, 17, 16, 15, and 14. Mature in their doctor's minds is 15. So all of them but one on my right side is of mature size. On my left side, I have 23, 23, 18, 18, 17, 17, 16, 16, and 15. So that's a total of almost 16 that will be definitely mature enough to retrieve from on Sunday, which takes me to the next point. We are definitely triggering tonight, and we are definitely retrieving Sunday morning at 7:30 a.m. On top of those follicles, I have 8 small ones that are measurable, but not mature. I'm not sure what measurable means, if that's like 10 or 11 or what, but as you guys know, I mean, I grew an 11 follicle in 2 days, so even after I trigger and stuff, my follicles are still going to continue to mature. And then what the nurse said was that ultrasound machines are always different in terms of measuring, so my smaller follicles could not only mature, but they could also measure differently when I go in for my retrieval. So I could possibly have even more mature follicles than the 16 that are already there. So that's a huge load off my mind, because as you guys know, the doctor, when I talked to her, was like, we'd like to see 15 and you only have 11 and blah, blah. Now I have what they like to see for an unknown egg donor, and I've kind of met that requirement, which just makes me feel a lot better. And my estrogen levels look really good, and the nurse basically said that I was the perfect donor, which just made me feel a lot more relieved, because I was just freaking out this whole time quietly inside, just thinking that I wasn't doing what I was supposed to. So I'm triggering tonight at 7:50 p.m. exactly. I will take 1 Avidril in the stomach. I have 2 Avidril pens that are 250 milligrams each, but because I have, well, the nurse said, because you're an overachiever, you only need 1 of them. So that's going to go in my stomach. And for some people who are like, why isn't it going in your butt? I asked the nurse, and it's because of the type of pen that they sent me. The type of pen that Lisa used went in the butt, but the Avidril pen goes in my stomach. So I will do that tonight, and basically it's just an HCG shot that's going to make me start ovulating. And then my retrieval, it will be Sunday at exactly 7:30. I have to be there by 7. And then I have to go in tomorrow morning at 8:30 for blood work. They want to just make sure the HCG is in my system and that it's doing its thing. No food or drink after midnight tomorrow, because I will have my procedure again on Sunday morning. And then tomorrow I will also start my Z-Pack, which is the antibiotic that they sent me. I will take 2 after dinner, and then after that I will take 1 tablet after dinner until all of them are gone. So I'm super excited. I was, like I said, freaking out this last 2 weeks, just, you know, after the first initial person who was like, oh, you should have more, oh, you're going slow, or oh, you're lagging, or oh, you know, the word cancellation kept coming up, and that just was such a downer. And the fact that, you know, today all I heard was positive and overachiever and perfect donor and responding beautifully, like, hearing those words just made me feel really good, considering we're literally around the corner now from the retrieval. For anybody wondering, Lisa will have her transfer 5 days after the retrieval, so that puts her on a track for a Friday transfer date, which is great for her, because then she can take the weekend off from work and, you know, relax and all of that. She went for intralipids this morning because, as you guys know, she has the natural killer cell, and so the intralipids IV will help slow those down to hopefully allow this pregnancy to, you know, happen, basically, and maybe they won't attack my eggs. But at this point, I feel just very confident because of the amount of follicles I have. I mean, again, anything could happen, anything could change. I've heard horror stories of people having like 40 eggs and then only 2 surviving and then only 1 actually making it, but I feel like the chances are so good because of everything else that's happened and because of the fact that there are so many. I just feel so extremely happy that I'm able to do this and that it's working out, because I would have felt terrible, like I said, if this wouldn't have worked. And so I really feel like hopefully Bill and Lisa can get their money's worth out of me in this whole process, because it's just cost them so much, you know, and I would hate to have this all not work. So I'm super excited. I'm super duper excited. So, you know, here we go. I have my retrieval on Sunday morning, and I don't think I'm going to update anymore after this until the retrieval, because I don't think there's really much that I can say unless something terrible happens, which I don't think will happen. I'm going to stay positive because that's been working. So the next time you will hear from me on here will probably be the retrieval. I'm going to try to have John record as much as he can, and then I will definitely make a video just talking about the recovery and stuff and how many eggs were, you know, retrieved and all of that. And then I will, of course, update constantly on my Facebook and Instagram. If you're not following me there, I'll leave the links underneath this video, but that's where I'll probably update daily. But as of right now, I don't really have much more to share in regards to the whole egg donor process. I'm really excited. Hold on, here's Lisa.
I'm crying. I don't know why I'm crying.
Are you happy?
Yeah, I'm nervous, I'm happy, I'm worried how you're going to feel.
I'll be fine.
Yeah, I know you keep saying that.
I'll be fine, because I have been. I'm just staying positive. We've stayed positive and things are good.
I know.
I'll be fine. Lisa's gonna have some babies.
Oh my god.
We're gonna make some babies this week. Cause she's gonna we're literally gonna make some babies this week, guys. Like Sunday, now I'm crying. Sunday, my eggs are gonna come out of my body, and then Bill will do his thing. He'll let it go, as Lisa said. And then they will be mixed with my eggs, and then Lisa will have them put in her on Friday. So Lisa could get pregnant next week. We're all excited. These are happy tears because we're all jacked up on hormones and it's just a happy time. The boys are being negative. Yeah. Both John and not negative. Yeah, they need some hormones and estrogen, but John and Bill are very similar. They're both kind of like, we'll be happy when we see Lisa pregnant. And I understand that, but for us it's so real, I think. Yeah. Because we're both going through like the physical part that it's hard for us not to get excited. We're excited. You could be pregnant next week.
I know, and then I think that you've been here for 2 weeks already. I know. And you've been through all of this for me. And that makes me cry too.
But I'm happy to do it. Seriously. I mean, I didn't think you would actually accept the offer. And John's happy to do it. He may not show it, but he's happy.
Broke down in front of him and he's like, it's okay, it's okay.
Yeah. John doesn't know how to like not sarcastic joke around. He doesn't know when to stop, so he kind of pushes the limit, but we're just so happy. Like I'm really I mean, again, there's always that negative, like I won't be happy until I see the eggs and know that they survived, but I mean at this point, like it's good. We're good. We're happy. So the next time you'll hear from me will be after the retrieval here. And then again, go to my Facebook if you want to follow there. And then I don't know what Lisa or when she'll update next, but maybe the next time you hear from her, she'll be saying she's pregnant.
Oh my god.
We're going to make babies this week, guys. Cross your fingers. I mean, I don't know. We're only halfway there. Like, it's like my part is almost done, but now it's going to be Lisa's part. So keep thinking good thoughts for now Lisa. Well, for me, for my retrieval and my trigger, because I don't know how I'll react to ovulating. It might be very painful. We don't know yet, but keep us all in your thoughts, and especially Lisa next week, because that's when she'll be getting her transfer done. So I'll talk to you guys all later, and hopefully I will have some amazing news for you, and then hopefully Lisa will have amazing news for you next weekend. So bye, guys.